you'll be willing to buy it. That particular book enlightens the Kybalion, is why I recommend it. And it gives you also a reference and explanation of geometric science, which is important because on the inner planes, your spirit will show you some geometry. If you're familiar with the structure of that geometry, you'll understand it and your spirit will show you more of it. So it's important to know something about sacred geometry. The spiritual science you're looking for is not in books, it's in you. You get books to identify what you're looking for within yourself. Okay? Okay. I'll mention that once more before the, the class closes, but it's important because you'll find yourself with a shelf full of books talking about titles and authors and not know what the heck is in the darn book. When you get yourself to a certain point, you'll find yourself attracted to certain literatures. That's because you're ready to know what that book, that idea means. And we keep trying to do these hookups. As we move up higher, we're trying to do these hookups. And at a certain point, you're supposed to read your own mind. Okay? But you have to be quiet for that. And this energy won't let you be quiet. It keeps babbling. It keeps overflowing. You keep regurgitating it. Okay? You want something you can digest so it will be sweet in your mouth and bitter in your stomach, meaning it tears up old energy. When new energy comes in, it tears up old energy. That's why at a point you'll get a stomach ache after even reading some important information. Because we literally eat knowledge. And I'm going to point something out in the scriptures that deals with that's completely misunderstood again by our Christian Negro colored brethren. But that's as it may be, not as it should be. I'm going to recite. Are we on yet? More. Bay. Now, let me turn to my notes. It appears like every Friday is my finding or finder's day. And I keep trying to encourage you all to read certain scriptures. Understand something about your nature. First, you're underestimating who you are. If you already know that, then you make the assumption that you are worthy of the task of unveiling truth. So you'll go into those areas called mysteries with an expectancy of understanding it. Okay? I'm saying that because many of us think we have to read. I remember a brother told me, "Brother, Mr. Muhammad read 200 books." You know, he was trying to impress me, you know. That if you read a certain amount of books, then you'll be ready. You were born ready. But what you have to do is to remember that you're not going to become anything that you're not. You're going to become more of what you are. You, the self, the soul, is the knower. Your personality, your psychology is the thinker. Your subconscious body, brain is the doer. Those are the three aspects of the three different hierarchies in the Masonic ritual of the building of the temple. You're already all three. Okay. Are we on back there? Thanks for telling me. Everything must change. Nothing stays. stays the same. The young become the old. Mysteries must unfold. Every now and then I'm going to repeat that, not just because I love it so much, but because it's always so timely in this arena of the study of self-knowledge. And a part of that mystery is where we're going to reach into today, beginning with a verse that all of us have heard. The lion shall lay down with the lamb. The lion shall lay down with the lamb. The lion shall lay down with the lamb. The wolf and the lamb and the lion shall eat straw. The wolf is the symbol of the ravenous appetite of man, who eats anger, bitterness, hatred, selfishness, and greed. The ram already eats straw. They don't eat meat. So what is it that the ram and the lion are going to eat? The ram is Aries, that's your head. Leo is the heart, that's love. Love and wisdom brings us balance. When the mind digests the spirit of love and the heart digests the spirit of wisdom, there will be balance. The laying down is balance. What we're trying to do is acquire the spiritual, emotional, and psychological state of balance. When the brain is out of harmony with the heart, there's conflict in the individual. That's what makes the argument. Conflict within, not in somebody else. It is not her fault. It is not his fault. It is the doer's fault. This takes us very gently into the divine triangle, which is also referred to as the wisdom square. I want you to look at something first before I put mine up there. Look at that very carefully. Okay, I'm going to hold it up again though. But I want you to see something because I want you to appreciate where this concept comes from and how by omission those that join the conspiracy and continue in that tradition still leave us and our children outside the credibility of being intellectual participants in the realm of culture, and having our children inherit inferiority complex from a mental plane, though we think we're better than everybody else physically. What's the difference there? What do you see? No, that's not they, that's me. No. I want you to look.
This is the position and the statement that's being made.
A. What's the other?
They got it.
The changing formation of the person.
It's on the side, and you got yours on the top.
Come on, folks, look again.
Position of it.
It's very simple. I only need one word.
Manipulation.
You're close. Thank you. It's reversed. Okay.
Yeah, they got it.
And then Dusty is doing numerology on this. She's not dealing with the ancient concept of the wisdom square, but bringing it to its second denomination in terms of the meaning of this ancient Moorish square. This is not a Masonic square. Okay? Borrowed by the European, it then becomes, as soon as they start putting these on it, hieroglyphics of a Hebrew text and change the very status. Okay? I understand that. That's all they did. Put Hebrew on certain plaques, statues, and symbols, and change the very status of those ancient Moorish, African artifice and bodies of knowledge. Just like that. Keeping in mind the European wrote himself in history with a pen. Okay. I want you to see something. I got to take one of these down before I start explaining here. The vertical line, the plump. Now, well, okay, I'll do that next. I should have me a ruler here, and I didn't bring mine. The cross automatically presents the proposition of the wisdom square or the divine triangle. So it begins with the cross. The suggestion of that is seen from an aerial position over the Great Pyramid of Giza. That's its mathematics. What we're talking about now is our mathematical symbology as the whole of the body of knowledge. Okay? Devised for the purpose of explaining self to self. Remember, there are two aspects to astrology, external and internal. The knowledge of self as an astrology study begins studying yourself with the tool of astrology. Becoming a spiritual being is becoming an astrologer. Okay. The word for astrology in the Greco-Latin language is mathematica. See Castille's Latin Dictionary for verification of that. The square I was supposed to have a ruler, and I brought some pictures of a ruler. Didn't bring a ruler. Let me see if I got one in here. Well, that's fine. Yeah, that'll do. I just want to draw a straight line. Okay, that might work. Thank you. It's going to work. The hypotenuse. I've been spending all week pronouncing that word. Hypotenuse. It used to be called by me hypotensus. While you're sitting there, if you like, make one of these just for your own amusement. It'll give you a better grasp of this complexity from a very simplistic point of view, if you'd like. It's not a correct angle. My other line's crooked, so it's going to turn out crooked. Oh, okay. Just a little bit more difficult than it looks, but not if you get the first line straight. The first thing you're supposed to do, actually, is to draw the vertical line is supposed to be 3 inches. The horizontal line is supposed to be 4 inches, thereby making the perpendicular line 5 inches. Where's my... So that you have 3, 4, and 5. That's the proposition, so-called, of Euclid's 47th problem. The 47th problem of Euclid is the hypotenuse. In the ancient Moorish culture, this is the divine trinity and the wisdom square. This tells you it is the wisdom square. This is Ayin Sufis, the eye of wisdom, is what this means. When 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am in the midst of them. Okay? It don't mean gather around and pray, though that's fine. Okay? When you have wisdom, love, and spirit gathered together, balanced in yourself, then your I is in the midst of that love, wisdom, and spirit. And it's awake. The divine triangle here, as we view it, intuition, that's not spelled correctly, but intellect, I'm scribbling here, intuition, intellect, imagination. When those 3 faculties are hooked up in your brain, functioning, they are in perfect harmony, perfect balance. It opens your third eye full out, which does not cover a little space here. This is your third eye. The whole forehead is your third eye. Okay, let me give you this back. Thank you. Before I put it in my bag and take it with me. Okay. We talked yesterday. We talked last Friday about the 12-inch gauge as representing the 12 signs of the zodiac. Then when you put these two together, you have how many? Ma'am? Thank you. The 24-inch gauge. And here is where you break into the book of Revelations again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, that's going to happen, sir. I'm just going to draw a line here to symbolically represent the 24-inch gauge. This is the gauge that is round about the throne of God. Can anybody fill in what I left out?
24 L.
All right, very good, my sister. The 24 elders round about the throne of God. Does anybody know where the throne of God is? It is the solar system. It's the throne of God. What part of our measurement of time has 24 in it? Thank you. And they are called also what? What kind of days are they called in Revelation? The Ancient of Days. They are as old as man, the days. Man has been measuring time since he became aware of daylight and night. His fear drove him inside at night. The sun encouraged him to come outside during the day. So he automatically had to measure the difference between when it was coming. In the old mythology, the sun died. And then the sun resurrected. Okay. This particular triangular structure holds the key to the understanding of our nature in terms of the full circle of 360 degrees. Remember, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Here. 3 represents the 3 triangular structures of what are called the triplicities of the zodiac. What's your birth sign? What's your birth sign? You don't have to hide it, sister.
Aries.
Aries, all right. Well, what's on your triangle? The 3 signs on your triangle. The 3 fire signs. Huh? That's you. Who else is on there? You got 2 other signs. One sitting on your right. Both of them are sitting on your left and right. Actually, one of them is sitting on your right. Aries, Leo. Those are 3 of the triplicities. 3 fire signs, 3 air signs, 3 water signs, 3 earth signs, 3 fire signs. Those are your triplicities. Okay? Now this is mathematical symbolism. In other words, the math itself suggests the idea, therefore the idea holds the knowledge, holds the meaning. That's what mathematical symbolism is. You remember, I told you about the map, or those who read, they came before Columbus, and you saw that map of nothing but lines. Okay. Each line told the navigator what direction he should go in and what direction he should take coming back. There were no numbers, because the line on that angle told him where the star he was watching is. So he didn't need numbers. He only needed to stand facing the North Star, and he knew exactly where he was going, and how to get back to where he started from, just with lines which are angles. The key is angle. In this hypotenuse, this is where all of us are born, on the corner of the hypotenuse or triangle of 0 degrees. Whatever sign it might be, it still starts with 0 degrees coming this way. Then this line would be 0 degrees Taurus till you count to 30. Then 0 degrees Gemini till you count to 30. The angle of birth is here in terms of coming into the physical. This is mid-heaven, the high point of the sun. That's what you see up here. This is the ascendant level of the position of the sun. This is the descending level of the position of the sun. At these 3 points, the sun's rays are at their strongest emanation. Simply by suggesting with the hypotenuse or the right angle triangle. This square automatically suggests the 4 unless you can't spell it, quadrants. Can anybody tell me what a quadrant is? If I can pronounce it. Quadrant, yes, of what?
Quarter of the square.
How many quarters of the square? How many quadrants are there? Thank you. I know you know. Very good, my sister. Okay. It by suggestion. That's all. Okay. No letters, no words, just lines. This is your father's works. Not Pythagoras, not Euclid, not Plato, and certainly not Albert Pike. Oh, racist. All right, now let's look at the 3, the 4, and the 5.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman said the mid, Capricorn is the mid-heaven.
Is mid-heaven. It's a Capricorn. Is your descendant. Always opposite the ascendant rising point of 0 degrees. Whatever your ascendant is, that's what goes there. That's where you're born. Okay? Right opposite the ascendant is the descendant. It is its antithesis. It's polarity.
That's the 3 references.
No. 3 positions of energy. We're not talking about people. No, we're talking about lines and what those lines as angles mean. Okay? In what is called sacred or spiritual evolution, you use the system of multiplication. By multiplying 3 times 4 gives you what? By adding 3 and 4 and 5 gives you what? Okay. By suggestion, that's the full circle. That is the 12 signs of the zodiac. That is civilization. That is the creation. That is God's throne. Just by suggestion of an angle. And when you went into the temple, they didn't put any numbers up there. They showed you the angle. And you, at some point, were to stand and explain the angle. See, but here is the important key. This is what the higher mind uses to explain things to you. I bought this book in a bookstore in Cleveland, Ohio. Bought the book, put it in a bag, stepped outside, took 1, 2, 3 steps, and the Spirit swung this energy around in a circle. 0. Yeah. But I already knew what 0 meant, so I understood what the geometry was. I mean, I wasn't meditating, but I was ready for the book. Okay? Okay. I'm trying to put you in touch with yourself, not with 50 different authors. And half of them are what are called literary hustlers. They write this stuff to make money. And they put their energy in it. Sell, sell, sell. Buy this, buy this. That's witchcraft. Now, I'm not telling you to stop buying books, okay? But if you got a certain group of books you can find what you're looking for, yourself. All right? This is a good book. If you have another basic book on numerology, I don't suggest you start reading this to learn the science of numbers. There's a lot of information in it, but you won't understand her system. And secondly, I don't agree with it personally. She measures it in terms of degrees. She measured this angle of 0 degrees and then each line representing 9, which is all right. But she carries it to the extreme of 84. Anybody who has not found this knowledge by 60 or 65 can forget this and go on to church. Okay, their stuff is closed, clogged, and broken. Okay, you got a certain number of years to get inside. Then Noah bars the door. Okay, when the soul gets, there's a point when the soul gets ready to exit. When it does, it closes your spiritual centers except the gate that you're able to go out of. You can't go out here if you're not raised up here. You go out here or in the back or the medulla oblongata if you're a good guy and a good girl. Okay. But you got a certain number of years to get there. Okay? Now you do about that. You do what you wanna. I mean, if you like coming down here, if you're having a good old time, enjoy. Okay. But the preference is raise up. Okay? Because what brings you back are your desires left over from your previous life. Okay? Okay. I'm trying to get this explained. Not without my notes, I won't. Okay, let me see, did I get all of this done? Yeah. What I'm supposed to do also is take another look to make sure, because I didn't want to just leave you all with half this information hanging here. Okay, those are the... how many of you all got the book Masonry and Its Symbols? 1, 2, 3. There's 3. Okay. It's an excellent book, highly, very highly recommended. Excellent. There's an autonomous master who didn't belong to any organization, who woke up by himself by keeping his body clean, and because he was a reincarnated master, he stayed awake like Yogananda did. At 3, Yogananda said he could think and form sentences, but he couldn't get his vocal cords to function. At 3 months, rather. He was in this little bitty body. That's terrible pain. To know that you're not a baby and to wake up and find you in a baby's body, you know? I mean, that's kind of like waking up in the ice box, in the refrigerator, and can't get out. Can you imagine that kind of mental suffering and anguish? Almost suffocation is what it really is. But able to balance himself so that he could endure his own human physical growth. But some masters do that. They're in a hurry to arrive. One other one, let me stop here. I'm getting off. I have to catch myself here. Okay, we pretty much covered. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we pretty much covered all of this. The sanctum sanctorium, I mentioned last time, I said was the body. The sanctum sanctorium, the sacred place, is the spinal cord itself. Inadvertently, it is the vertebrae, because the spinal cord is inside the vertebrae, and Hiram Abiff as the seminal fluid, the vita libra. When he dies at the east gate, he's born to the spiritual nature. So he travels up the spinal cord in the sanctum sanctorum. Okay? The reason I'm explaining that, because you're going to do that yourself. Okay? You don't have to be a Mason to do that. And as I mentioned, I'm making an effort, not disrespectfully, but for the intentions of letting all of us know that this is not, we're not obligated to the Masonic order for the knowledge of self. They are obligated to our parents for that knowledge. That's what I want us to know. Okay? I'm not knocking the order. It's good. And it's bad. Like everything else down here. Truth and falsehood, said Noble Drew Ali. And he wasn't jiving. Okay. The brethren is not brother. The brethren are your spiritual powers. And this fits quite conveniently in Isaiah chapter 18. I think it's, anybody got the King James there? Okay, turn to Isaiah chapter 18, the oracle to Egypt. Why is it taking me so long to get to it?
Walk through the land.
No, a certain verse I want you to read. No, not 18, 19, the oracle to Egypt. Okay, read, no, okay, it's not there. Well, okay, yes it is. Read verses 1 through
Isaiah?
2. Isaiah 18. Let's see what yours say. Yeah, that's fine. Go on, read.
The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one
Okay,
against his...
it does say brother in yours?
Yes.
Okay.
And his name.
Okay, in the Old Testament, that word would be brethren.
Brethren.
Okay, instead of brother.
B-R-E-T-H-E-N.
B-R-E-T-H-R-E-N. That means spiritual powers. Brethren is the spiritual powers. If a Mason wants to know where you are coming from, he asks you, are you of the brethren? He doesn't ask you if you're a brother. He wants to know where your spiritual status is. If he says, are you of the brotherhood, he's talking about the lodge. If he says, are you of the brethren, he's talking about, is your spiritual stuff working, is what he wants to know. Okay? I thought I'd just add that tidbit there. Okay, we did this, didn't we? Everybody remember?
Yeah.
Okay, again, I find a correction here. Though this word theologically means teacher, Moriah or Moria, whichever way you want to pronounce it, it also means psychic powers or psychic abilities, which is the brain. Okay, psychic powers and psychic abilities are not the soul's abilities. Those are your natural human brain abilities. You are by nature psychic. The word psychic means mind. We just don't have 80, 90, 70% of brain power to work with until we start waking up these dead cells. Yes?
Is that what some people refer to when they say that you're only using 10% of your...
You're right. That's what the psychologists established back in the 50s. They're using 10%. Some said 5%, and they're probably right because there's a few out there using 1%. Yeah. But the thing is the process. Why meditate? To quicken your brain. Why meditate? To quicken your brain cells. Why meditate? To quicken your vertebrae and your spinal cord's rhythm, to give your body more electric energy. Why meditate? Okay. To become alive. That's why. Okay. Let me encourage you to do more meditating than you are reading. The time you spend going from home to the bookstore, spend some of that time going from home to heaven.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, where was I before I got sidetracked with my Reverend Biscuit routine there? Okay, we did the three aspects of mind. This is the father principle. This is that's who that is. Isis, Ra, El, the Son of God. Okay. Okay. I'm showing you how they interpret it to make what is ancient, Kemetic, Moorish, so-called Egyptian, Jewish. Okay? From the language of symbolism, things move from what nature created. That's nature's language. Everything begins with nature's language, not astrology. Astrology is an aftermath of nature's language, just as the planets are an aftermath of nature's energy, moving through time, through space, creating time, because time is an artifice of motion. Okay? The result of something. And in the Masonic order, and probably Moorish as well, it's referred to as death. Because time clicks off your energy. It's what you watch as you wear out. Okay? Unless it's round about the throne. Okay? Okay. Those 30 degrees. If you're moving in that circle, you're going to what? Regenerate. That's what you want to do. Move through that circle. The one inside. Your blood is moving through the 360-degree circle of self. What is it moving? Death or more life, more life, more life, more fire, more energy, more. Okay? I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Till you don't need any more sleep. Okay? And there is no more day or night. When you close your eyes, you see more light than you did when you opened them. That's where we're trying to get to. Okay. All right. Let me jump into my notes. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right. Now, here's where I intended to start. For those who have your Holios Biblos with you, turn to 1 Kings chapter 7 again. I'm not seeing you all with it, so I'm assuming you're not reading it. Am I assuming correct? Huh? You know it by heart. All right, my sister. No, I know. No, I'm getting ready to lock your heels. Right, yes, right. Okay, all right. Don't back up now, if that's what you said. Huh? All right, okay. All right, 1 Kings 7, verse 25. Let me read that so we can get immediately to the point here, because I don't want to spend all day on it. Further verification that the temple of Solomon, the Lord's house, is the zodiac, or Zodiakias, is the body in its perfect form, the perfect building. It stood on 12 oxen. Let me do this. Now, those who are fortunate enough to have their Bibles can read along with me. And this is esoteric code language, the reason I'm doing this. What it says here. First, let me briefly explain why oxen. Because this period of history measured the period of the Taurian cycle. That's why the bull is being used, okay? And secondly, by making it all 12, it correlates with the 12 animals in symbology up there. Circle of animals. Okay, but that isn't what it means. That's just simply what they said Zodikaios means. It means the circles of power. There are no animals in the heavens. We all know that. This is the key word in seeing through geometric symbology, which is mathematical symbology, not face, but facing. Now, note this. With the page turned on me by itself. It stood on 12 oxen, 3 facing the north. Three facing the west. I'll just draw a line this way. Three facing the south. Now in charting, when you lay the horoscope down, up here is the south. Okay? When you look at the zodiac up there, then up there it's the north, okay? It depends on how you're looking at the map. If you're charting, when you bring it from here down like this, then you bring that end to this end, okay? So is everybody follow me on that? Okay, all right, okay. All right.
What verse are you on?
Verse 26. No, verse 25. Still on verse 25.
Y'all said facing, it said looking in the kingdom.
And 3 facing the east. Okay? That's 0 degrees, Aries. I shouldn't need to put that there, should I? And 3 facing the south. There's your zodiac. Okay? In symbolic language. Okay? I want there to be no doubt about it in your mind. This chapter is about the zodiac. This chapter is about the spiritual body and all of its artifice as symbols therein. That a cubit is not a measure of something. A cubit is a cube. He keeps talking about the cubit. He's talking about the cube. Okay? Language, symbolic language, codex, inscriptus, the code written into the book, the code written into the dictionary, the code written into the legal language, the code written into the pharmaceutical language, the code written into the medical language. Okay? All right. Okay. Now let me jump back over here. Read that chapter. It is most interesting and enlightening. And understand something when you read it and wonder what it is. suddenly your spirit, your consciousness will explain it to you. One of the major keys about Masonry and its symbols by Percival, he tells you repeatedly, think. Think. Think with symbols. Think with ideas. Think on. Think with. And your spirit, your mind, will simply unfold it. It's almost that simple. Okay? In a relaxed, comfortable fashion. Don't get intense, okay? As soon as you do this here, you close up your stuff. Relaxed. Okay, where's this other page here that has the information I want to put on here? The three active principles that are represented, again, by this suggestion of the right-angled triangle are attraction, repulsion, and motion. Everything has attraction, repulsion, and motion. Attraction makes for magnetism. Repulsion equals cohesion. That's how you're able to stay in one form, through attraction and repulsion. Being pulled up at equal distance and amount does what? Holds you together. When one outpulls the other, it tears you apart. Okay? I like what C.C. Zane defines motion as. Let me read it here so I won't get it wrong. The change or motion is change of the relative change of all objects in the universe is motion. The relative slight change of all objects in the universe, which fits right up under what law in the Kybalion? Vibration. Right. Everything is in motion. Nothing stands still. Every time you bring your attention between your eyebrows, your energy moves up. Your molecules change positions ever so slightly relative to the molecules next to it. Okay? That's the process of regeneration. Okay? In this grand square that I just erased is found also, and Dr. Yakanan stuck it in his book and did not explain it, which of course left it for the student, left it up to the student to go find out what it means or meant. Let me get it right now. Okay, I'm doing it wrong already. These are the concepts. This is the law of opposites. The law of opposites. Heat or hot and cold. Wet and dry. Air, fire, earth, water. The major substance of planet Earth and physical body, this is the dust of the ground. Okay. Again, suggest it. The master teacher would simply take a stick or a paintbrush, whatever they were using, and would draw the representation of an image on the ground, symbolism, and ask the student, explain that. That's all. No pictures, no numbers, no letters, just sacred geometry. And he was supposed to explain it. Okay? But I keep putting this in parentheses. Your spirit already knows what it means. Okay? But in order to ask a question, you have to have you get answers from inside is that you reach in with desire to know. That's how you get them. And then suddenly, one day, 1 hour, 1 minute, suddenly, it just answers it, just like that. You know? And you go, oh, you know. Or you be sleeping or think you're sleeping and drift off. And next thing you know, you think you're dreaming and you're watching something or seeing something or hearing something.
Oh, I got a revelation.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. And you know, okay, pay attention to your own mind. You know more than you're giving yourself credit for. But as long as you're looking out there, you can't hear what's going on in the house. Okay? A house divided, right? A house divided cannot stand. Okay? Balance. That you're hearing here and here. That you're feeling here and here. Okay? That's balance. Love goes in both places. Lovely thoughts and a wise heart. Okay. The 4 elements and the 4 qualities are the definitive of this geometric. Three is mind. 4 is form or earth. 5 is look at that word, S-P-I-R-I-T, spirit. Okay. 5 is mind or mental. Spirit is mind. There is no mind, there is intelligent energy. That is mind. It is called in the Kemetic language Allah. Creative energy. That's what we live, move, and have our being in. That's the hymn that the scriptures are talking about. The hymn is 5, masculine, 4, female, 3, masculine, 2, female. Okay? In geometric evolution, you multiply the number time itself. That's your number, 7. And I'm doing this because I want to verify something, though it's all right to pronounce, articulate, or spell Moor, M-U-U-R. That's okay. But I want you to see this. Nine and 6 is 15, and 6 is 20 what? And 4 is what? And 2 and 5 is what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is your flag again. Well, how is that the flag? The moon is what, numerically? Look at these sloppy geometrics here. What's the moon? Anybody?
5.
The moon is 5? Is that a stranger in here? A newcomer?
I said 5. They asked me.
Okay.
I said
The moon, I
5.
just gave it to you. The moon is who? Who is symbolically the moon?
Ma.
Mother is what
18,
number?
18. 18 plus 1 is 9.
No.
Okay.
The moon is a feminine mother.
I just said feminine is. Didn't I just say that?
Okay. Freeman. And
Yes,
this is
sir.
and I already said that, but didn't another class you gave us Ma as being 18?
No. That's a full circle. It's 18. 1 and 8 is 9.
Remember when you did Mason, M.A., and it came out to be...
No, I didn't add that up. The only thing I do with ma and son is break it down into mother and son.
Okay, all right.
Here's what I did with mother and son. Here, look at here. This is the mother. This is the son. 25. 2 and 5 is 7. This is what I did with the other part of it here. Five, 7, 7, 7, 2, 2 and 5, 2 and 5. That's what I did with it.
But
Okay.
this is how the symbology of the crescent and the star.
The crescent and the star, the mother and son. Yes. Mason. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Symbolically, with the moon, could we, in looking at that, say that the point at the top and the point at the bottom of the crescent are the 2 points that would maybe clue us in on that being 2? When we look at it, like
No. The symbol itself,
That's what I'm saying.
the moon itself clues you in. That's the symbol of your mama. Okay? And occasions you will see this geometry in the night heavens as the star moves inside the crescent like a baby in a mama's belly. It's all up there, man. It's all up there. You see, on a clear night, you really can see forever. Okay.
So when you hear an edge above that, it could be 28.
This is Egypt.
And that makes it 10.
No, you stop there, and you go here. I've done this once, haven't I? For you all? Seven. 7. 7. 7. Okay. You remember that, my brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Sacred geometry.
Well, so you got somebody's head smoking.
Well, that's good. That's what I want to do, is light some brain power in here. That's what it's about. But complementarily, so you know from whence you came. We didn't come from fools. We came from the wise and the wonderful. And we ought to do likewise.
Can I ask something just out of the, I'm not asking what
Not too far out there, my brother. You know, you can go way out there. Go ahead.
Is it some folks kind of like chosen from this knowledge, as you said before, some spirits?
Yes, we are all chosen. The ones who choose to learn it become the chosen ones. The chosen ones are 12. That's everybody down here. Don't ever forget that. Okay? That is who the Creator chose. Everybody who gets down here. The Spirit gave me a wonderful revelation. Some people can't get down here. They're on the wrong angle. So they can't get arm, leg, arm, head. They're coming in at the wrong time, and the person, the woman, the mother, they're trying to come through, can't make arm, leg, arm, head. So they're born with arm, leg, head. Or born with arm, leg, head. or they're born with arm, head, arm. One extreme exaggeration of that, born with no medulla oblongata. On the wrong angle, the soul came in and couldn't get what the soul wanted from that vessel.
When I was working in or being delivered, like I said, would be a breech baby.
Uh-huh.
And they would always try to turn the baby around.
Yeah.
So so the soul could, right up here.
If there's a palpitation in the fetus, the soul is already there. According to the cosmogony now, the soul comes in at the point of 3 months of formation. The soul comes in as a full-grown being, sleep or wake, depends on what you got to come in with. Some didn't get consciousness. They come in, sleep, and some are so awake they can see themselves slipping through the medulla oblongata of the mother.